Let's go. Today is Saturday, another day to smash a hill climb effort, max effort. Let's go. $11.40. I think that's like 20 or 30 seconds faster than last week. Which is great. It's only like 12 seconds off my all-time PB. So after 2 weeks, I'm already starting to pick up fitness. I had one of these today before my ride. A full sugar Red Bull. Fucking oath. Channeling my inner Christian Blumenfeld and smashing the shit out of this before a really hard effort. Just an experiment. But today, I want to talk about this kind of stuff and also supplements and what supplements runners and endurance athletes really should take. But I gotta get to work first. I'll see you guys soon. So let's start with caffeine. It's pretty well understood that caffeine is so effective in improving your performance. Like I think it's probably 2 to 5% improvement in maximal performance in a short session or a shorter race. Maybe not so in like a longer race, but definitely in a shorter race, which is epic. But caffeine is fake energy. It gives you a sense that you have more energy, whereas like you could actually just have more energy by taking other supplements like sugar and supplementing your workouts with glucose, fructose, those kinds of things. A lot of people don't do that still. They still train with no energy being put into their body, and it kind of puts you in a big hole. I think out of everything that we're going to talk about today, sugar supplementation in your workouts is an absolute must for everyone above anything else, even protein and things like that, even above electrolytes, because you can bonk very, very, very quickly, way quicker than you would if you lost electrolytes. Like glycogen depletion is much quicker than sodium depletion, that's for sure. And the thing is, a bag of sugar realistically is the same as your $7 Morton gel. So you could definitely just have a bag of sugar, put that in a water bottle with some water and smash your PBs. That is the best supplement. But caffeine is also epic, but we just have to be a little bit more sparing with the caffeine use. But I'm not really your mum. Do whatever you want. If you want to have coffee and stuff like that every day, fair enough. Just don't expect to get crazy results from taking a mega dose of caffeine if you're already highly adapted to caffeine. But I'm not your mum. Do what you want. Now here's a relatively new one that has come onto the supplement scene in the last couple of years, and that is ketones. And it's absolutely blown up, and everyone's always talking about ketones and stuff. And it's pretty crazy because, I don't know about you, but I can't afford that shit. Like I've never taken it because in Australia, like the servings are so expensive. If you want to get like 10 servings or whatever, it's like almost $80, $90 sometimes. It's absolutely absurd. I think ketones might benefit a lot of people who are already extremely fit and they've already done a lot of the other things that add up, to get you at like super fit. But for most people, I don't think really you should focus on supplements like ketones to get that extra 1%. And also, I've read the studies and it's pretty inconclusive whether ketones actually benefit you compared to supplementing other things like carbohydrates during your workouts. So it's pretty interesting. I think that there needs to be a lot more data around this topic of ketones, and I think the price also has to come way the fuck down so that normal people like myself can actually try it without, breaking the bank. But that's what I think. Got another package here. I'm gonna go take it to the post office. This seems to be like a regular daily thing now, which is a good thing. It's just crazy, right? Like I never thought that this would ever happen, but people are buying my shit and that's really, really cool. Now, my favorite thing to do is to experiment on myself. And so for the last 6 weeks or so, I've been doing something a little bit different to try and figure out if I could actually squeeze a bit of recovery and performance out of these two supplements. So, protein and collagen powder. I've been mixing them both in my mango and berries in the morning to see if there was actually going to be any change in recovery or performance or the way that I felt or anything like that. And to be honest, there was literally no change. I don't know whether it's because of what I'm doing right now. It's just not really that muscularly damaging. Even though I was training at the gym doing strength stuff for 3 days a week and doing some bike and some running, like this stuff has done basically nothing. Like the problem with collagen is that, I know this is just a vegan one, but this is just more in general. It doesn't just take those same collagen amino acids and then just drop it into your own collagen to make the collagen stronger. That's not really how it works. But I did try it and it's good. It's actually quite yummy, but I don't think I'll be buying them again because once again, if I'm not really getting anything out of it, it's kind of just a waste of money and I should instead focus on improving my diet to add this kind of stuff in. Anyways, you know, I think many years ago, we had the same issue with branched chain amino acids. So this is a story time for when I used to go to the gym before I even started running. We used to sip on BCAAs all the time to try and get these amino acids in as quickly as possible. But when the science came out, they didn't actually end up really doing anything because your body just broke them down and distributed this protein molecules wherever it needed to. It didn't really improve recovery or anything like that. Same thing goes probably with this collagen. I think the more evidence that will come out in the future, we'll probably find that it doesn't really do anything anyways. And collagen is kind of made of boiled bones. So do you really want to eat boiled bones? It doesn't really sound very appetizing, does it? No. Now that's not to say that these supplements are necessarily good or bad. It's just that for right now, in my personal situation, I've not noticed any changes in anything really. My recovery hasn't changed. The way that I feel hasn't changed. You know, my tendons haven't drastically improved because your body responds to pressure and load that you put on the body. It doesn't respond to getting different ingredients and then being like, oh cool, we can get stronger tendons because we have more collagen. It's not really how it works. But something that does in fact actually work quite well is, you know, salt. It's really beneficial. Now any OGs of the channel will probably remember what went in this cup. At some point I made my own electrolyte formula specific to me by using other kind of supplements and using data and sweat tests and distributions of electrolytes to make my perfect electrolyte formula that I could mix into like a sugar solution. It was amazing, and I think everyone should watch that video at some point and do this for themselves because electrolytes, as well as, you know, muscle glycogen, are the two biggest key factors in determining how fast you're going to be able to go, especially in a longer race like a marathon, like how many people cramp and how many people bonk. More people bonk, but a lot of people also cramp. And I think electrolytes play a massive role in that. Plus, electrolytes make everything taste really yummy. But how much do you actually need? Well, I don't think people necessarily have to worry about electrolytes unless you're training probably like an hour plus per day. That's when you start to really deplete electrolytes, and it should probably be something you should work on improving. I think if you're doing less than that, then just general daily eating food, maybe adding a bit of salt to a meal here and there is probably going to be perfectly fine. So if you're in that camp, I wouldn't really even worry about it. But if you're training 8 hours a week, 7 hours a week, 10 hours a week, something like that, then electrolytes should be just as important as everything else that you put in your mouth, because it's going to be the second most likely thing to make you fail in your training schedule. Now, this is just sodium chloride, but we also have calcium, which is really important. You can get that from your diet. We probably don't have to supplement that too much unless you're doing, like I said, an hour plus. But the last thing that we have to focus on is magnesium, because magnesium not only helps with muscle contractions and things like that, like cramp related stuff, it also allows us to sleep. I don't know about you, but probably one of the most impactful supplements that I've ever taken with an instant change in the way that my life is the magnesium-based supplements. Like the triple magnesium stuff for sleep is so powerful, and magnesium baths is so powerful. Like I've never felt anything like that apart from maybe caffeine. in terms of like an instant improvement in just your daily life. Magnesium is a top supplement, probably behind sugar, this, caffeine, magnesium, so important. Now the last thing is almost like a mandatory thing for every runner or endurance athlete to actually check. These things are so important that if you don't check on these, they are most likely to be giving you some grief and slowing you down. The first one is B12. If you don't have B12 in your diet somewhere, you're going to get destroyed and you're never going to get any fitter than you are right now. You're also mentally going to feel absolutely fried. Check your B12 with blood tests. The next thing is iron. If you don't have enough iron, you're not going to be able to actually produce any red blood cells to actually benefit from the training that you're doing. That's another supplement that if you actually have to take it because you have taken a blood test and you are low, then it's going to be massive and it's going to make a massive change in your life. With iron, you also need vitamin C from fruits and vegetables. Maybe you can get away with it not taking any vitamin C if you are taking a lot of fruit in, but if you're not, there's nothing wrong with taking some vitamin C. Just a couple of thousand micrograms of vitamin C in like one of those chewable tablets is going to be epic to help you absorb that iron. And of course, vitamin D, if you're not getting enough from the sun, it's going to help with bone strength, being able to actually recover from the sessions that you're doing by building these bones back up when they've been broken down. It's so important, vitamin D. So we've talked about a lot of supplements today, and there are some things that I think you should focus on and some things that you shouldn't. But one thing is for sure, that the best supplement for any runner to get instantly faster is vitamin EPO. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.